What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Daniel Banks, aka DJ Fine, CEO of J2. We are Jersey Magazine and Jersey Diamonds, and I'm here with the homie Will, aka Latin Will Music.
What's good, Banks?
What's good, bro? Man, Mr. Latin Will Music is in the building, man. What has he not done? This guy is a producer, engineer, songwriter, part-time videographer, photographer. You name it, this guy does everything. He was Grammy nominated. He has his business called Second to None label, ENT. Check it out, man. This guy does everything. So we're going to get to know Will on a whole different level. We are Jersey Magazine. So, my brother Will, talk to me, man. Like, what do you not do, bro? Like, what do you not do?
Well, basically in music, I don't know. I had to cover almost every base in music.
What made you have such a deep passion for music that you took the turn of actually wanting to produce it? You know, because that means you gotta have like a real unique sound, a real unique ear.
Yeah.
You gotta do a lot of exploring, a lot of research. If there's one thing we've learned in this music industry is a lot of research that goes into it, especially when you want to have a unique sound that sounds different than anybody else, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about like kind of what inspired you to go this route and the passion behind it that you have for this type of wave.
Well, what happened was I started out as a musician. I played the guitar when I was like 12 years old in a professional band. It was crazy, the story behind it is too long to say now, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that, yeah.
But from there, I started being in bands and stuff and hopping around in the music, dabbling with tambora as well, that's a merengue.
Yeah.
So I had my daughter was at 19, and that was kind of like the transition where I was on tour and I kind of missed her first birthday.
Yeah.
And that moment made me decide what I really wanted to do in music because I wanted to be close to my daughters, you know. So I bought an MPC.
Yeah.
I was on tour and I was like, yo, I'm going back home and I'm gonna learn because I always had ideas. I always had like melody ideas and I was self-taught everything. So that happened and I came back home. I bought an MPC. I bought a Triton at that time, and I just started doing stuff, and I just started calling my producer friends. I was like, yo, you got it, bro.
Yeah.
You got it. Yo, invest whatever you got. So I went to San Match and I put my savings.
The old school. I don't even need Sam Match open now.
Yeah. I think
these might be a couple, right?
Guitar Center just took about.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, I got into it. All my savings. I bought equipment. And I started producing. My first thing that I started producing was hip hop, because that comes within me.
Yeah.
A lot of people be like, how you play instruments of merengue, and all of a sudden you start producing and you start producing hip hop. It's just the environment that I grew up in. You know, I'm from Patterson, New Jersey, and I'm happy to be from there.
Yeah.
You know?
That's dope. And like you said, and so now you have the Latin aspect, and you got the hip hop vibe.
Yeah, so I kind of put my influences, my Spanish influences, I always incorporated into the hip hop beats, and that's what kind of stood me out in the underground, because I've been underground for a long time, and also I've been producing I've been a part of a lot of major records, like #1 hits, and you will never know because I was ghost producing at that time, so it was a learning experience for me, you know, to really take time and learn the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, yo, you know what? You know, I know what I have in my heart, and I know that I have the talent and I have the personality to make it in this business. But it's been so hard to make it in the fields that I've chosen, like hip hop, pop, Latin. But I know I have the sound, and that market is very close with the majors, and it's hard to get opportunity.
Absolutely.
So I was like, you know what? This is gonna be a new era in music soon. You know, I kept saying it for the last 10, 12 years. I kept going into labels telling them, yo, you're not gonna give me an opportunity, it's okay. But 10 years from now, this industry is gonna be ran by your phone. You know, and they used to laugh at me, oh, this kid is crazy. And look what's going on now. Exactly. You can upload a song on digital platforms straight from your phone. So
got QR codes and all that.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? All right, they're not gonna. It's okay. I have the ear. I have the eye for talent. The ear. I'm gonna build my own label. I'm gonna do what it takes. I don't care if I stay broke. I do not care. I'm gonna build my label, and I don't care how long it takes me. I'm gonna build it to where the major's gonna notice me. You know, so. It's been a long journey, you know, to find artists that are responsible and you know, willing to dedicate their life, because this is a lifestyle for me. This is not a game. I don't do this to buy a Lamborghini tomorrow. You feel me? I do this because I want to build and give opportunities to these young kids. There's a lot of talent in the urban cities where it's like I listen to some of these kids and I'll be like, wow, how come these kids not getting these opportunities? So you know what? Let me take it into my own hands and start building, create networks where we unite and start really picking out these young talents that really got it and putting Jersey on, especially Jersey. We have so much talent out here, and I'm like, yo, why are we not there?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the influence that are in hip hop are grassroots are from Jersey.
Right.
How come we're not there in that field? You know, people see it as competition, but it's really not. Just give us an opportunity to come in, and I guarantee you, we're gonna make a name.
Absolutely.
That's how I see it. You know, and my thing is, I'm Jersey. I'm Jersey to the death of me, and I'm Dominican. I'm Dominican as well. You know, I represent Dominican Republic, but I'm here to work with Jersey, and let's unite. Let's get this out. Let's get this state on the map. You feel me?
That's fine. If we ended it right there, it would have been fine. Right? But so, like I said, with the passion you have for Jersey and the passion you have for music and everything, like I said, bringing the cultures together and everything like that, is that what also made you create the second?
Yes, because it's an international label.
Yeah.
I have a Spanish artist as well named Ricky Ruiz. Look him up. He's starting to create a lot of noise at Ricky Ruiz Official, and he's officially signed to my label. And we've been kind of building his content. You know, I'm very mystique the way I work, but I'm very like timing. It's just strategic. Like we sit down, we have a little team. He has a manager. She's my partner, Denise Santana, and we sit down and I'll be like, okay, we're gonna start releasing. We're gonna do this, and then start creating this buzz. And you know, sometimes artists get impatient. And because I work with various, so it's like, Will, I need you, but I'll be like, just relax. I know what I'm doing. It's just setting up this label. And I have my nephew that I just signed to the label as well, at Sean.Rex. You can look him up. He's a brand new artist.
Shout out to Sean. You know,
and they listen to the stuff.
Oh yeah, we heard it. It's fire.
It's
fire. It's fire. We got an exclusive, but we ain't gonna tell you when to drop it.
It's coming soon. I'm building. We're currently building his content. I just signed another producer named Majin J to the label. Young 16-year-old kid. Incredible talent.
Oh, you grabbing everybody.
Oh yeah.
He's got grabbing everybody before.
Sean is actually a producer as well, so it's like we have 3 producers in the label.
Nice,
subconsciously already we all write, we all have ideas, so we just get in the studio and sauce it up and whatever comes out. And I'm also working with a young man named Ace Valley. You know, you can look him up at Instagram, Ace3Valley as well. He's coming up, he's creating a buzz in Patterson. We're also creating his content. So basically, the label is getting built right now, and because I want to be able to be ready. You know, if anything happens, it's like, oh, Will, you got your LLC. No, I don't want to be like, no, I gotta go back. If I'm sitting with a major label, you gotta go back home to be like, no, I gotta go. They're gonna be like, yo, you're not ready. So I want to be able to, if anything happens, look, everything is here. Everything, especially business-wise. Please, artists, please do the right thing. Paperwork, split sheets. I am very adamant about that because a lot of people look at me like, yo, Will's crazy. He always wants people to sign off. No, I've been in situations where I've been a part of records in the past and they become big hits, and everybody's running around like they, with their heads cut off like chicken. You know, it's crazy, and everybody's fighting for percentages. And no, I did this. No. Well, after you do the song, do your split sheets. Whoever's the producer, sign off on the mat. Whoever owns the label, make sure the producer signs off the masters. Get your stuff ready because that's how I work. I do not get in the studio unless everything is organized. You know, because I don't want Will this. No, I've been through a lot. You know, because I'm very adamant about that. So when I approach certain people about it, they look at me like, oh, he's too aggressive. No. You don't understand. Anything can become a hit.
That's what you want.
Anything can become a hit. Anything. You never know what can become a hit. So get your paperwork right. Get the little split sheets. Who got this percentage? Sign. Everybody's goes home happy. And next time you're in the studio, I guarantee you that the vibe will be on 150 because everybody understands. Okay, I know my position. So even if I do my drum patterns, whatever, I know he's gonna take it. You know, that's how it works. So,
and the importance of that is that all artists should also know is that it builds a trust.
Of course,
it builds a trust factor, because then now you're gonna look at every professional situation and be like, you know what, if it doesn't roll like this, then we probably shouldn't really be doing business. But like you said, at the end of the day, if you're believing in your passion in music and been Grammy nominated like this guy, you want paperwork in place.
Of course.
And actually, let's go to that point. What was it like being Grammy nominated, man? Like that. What was that feeling like?
It was crazy. I remember the label when I started the project. It was for a bachata album that I was co-producing and engineering, co-writing. I did a little bit of everything, and I remember when I started the project, the label it was a label through Miami, Top Stop Music, but it was distributed through Sony, so Sony was a part of it. And they wanted to fire me after the third song because I didn't want to send them MP3s.
Really?
I was so afraid that my work would be, at that time a lot of leaking was going on.
Yeah.
So I was afraid that, and especially the artist that I was working with, he was like, yo, the label's fighting because you're not sending them the MP3s, they want to listen to it. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then the head owner told him, fire that guy, whoever's working with you. Wow. But the artist fought for me, and the artist told him, nah, you got to listen to his work.
Right.
Don't. And when we finally sent him the MP3, it was like, yo, let him do the album with you.
Let him do whatever he needs to do.
Whatever he needs to do, let him do it. So what I used to do was stack up a few records and then send them over to the label.
Yeah.
So we did that process.
Instead of sending it one by one.
So right. We used to stack up 3 or 4 records, send it to the labels, and that's how the process worked. And it was amazing, man. It was I couldn't believe it. I was driving on Route 3, bro. I remember I was on my way to the studio like at 1 p.m. going to Weehawken. And they called me, it was like, yo, your album got nominated for Grammy. I was like, what? I started speeding like 110 miles per hour. I was like,
glad you made it safely here, right?
It was crazy. It was crazy. But then that's when my career really, Latin Will became, I went really underground because I wanted to show my talent since, this industry is very, you know how it is.
Right.
So I've been fighting through that all these years, man. All these years it's been a tough road. It's always but my sound is so different that they don't understand it. But I know I have the sound to break in, so I'm there right now, man.
We know he got the sound because we just heard everything. It's fire, 1,000%. And like you said, the uniqueness behind you putting out for the culture, putting out for the city.
Yes, especially blending in the cultures, man. Yeah. My best friend growing up was black, and I kind of was the one in the house that kind of broke that chain because my parents, when they first got here, sometimes they don't understand the culture. They come from an island where it's just that. You understand? So coming to a different country and seeing that they don't understand. So it was a battle at first, bringing my black friend at home. My mom was like, I don't. But then when I was like, Ma, I know. And it just became natural. He used to come and he used to open the fridge, eat our food. So I used to go to his house, vice versa. So they became natural. So a lot of my friends growing up were black. So and we used to play basketball together, and we had a team where it was Hispanics and blacks, and it was just amazing.
So it's all about the unity, and that's what
that's what Second to None music is. You just bringing cultures together, work, man. If you got the talent, if I see it, I'm work. Let's work.
Latin Will music, let's work.
Let's work, man.
And now, as for like the songwriting and everything, right? So what is the process for you behind like engineering and songwriting? Because when we get producers in here, everybody has their own unique style. Like I said, musicians starting from like 12 years old, playing different instruments and everything. But for you, as far as like now going to the songwriting aspect, what is it like for you to go through that process? Like, what is like the sit down process, or even like just producing a beat? Like, what's the sit down process? Like, you have to be in the mood. You gotta get a little saucy. Like, what's the vibe for you that you feel like that works for you, that's gotten you to this point?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. It's just like natural, man. A little 420. Get in the vibe. Get in the vibe, and it's just the moment. I have to feel like how I do music, especially creating a track, is basically I live life, and you're gonna feel it.
Yes.
Either you're gonna feel sad. If I'm sad, you're gonna feel it in my track. If I'm happy, you're gonna hear the happy chords. It's just a feel thing, and the songwriting is more basically almost the same thing. And I kind of like depending on the artist that I'm working with, I kind of transform myself into them. I put my position like I'm them, so I kind of like study them. I study their moves. I study their process. I study how they live. So it's like I become them when I'm in the studio, and I'm like, yo, I think this will fit you because that's your style. So it kind of like it works. I have a lot of melody ideas, a lot of hooks, I'm like the hook. If your hook is not tight, I'm very adamant about that. After the hook, then the song comes. Yeah, the song comes natural. And basically, that's my process.
And you're pretty much an overall creative.
Yeah,
right? When it comes to the industry, you're just overall.
Yes.
Because now you're shooting videos.
Yeah, I'm shooting.
He's a producer shooting videos.
It's because I have.
What does he not do?
I have a vision sometimes, and with all due respect to the video, I have a massive amount of respect to all creatives. I just have a vision sometimes, and I rather just try to print it and get it to how I like our standards that we want, and then just pass it on to an editor, or because I don't want to get into that. It takes so much time. I'll be 3 days, 4 days editing.
Producers take time.
It takes away from. So I just want to be in the creative process of like what we want as the picture, and then I'm good with that. But then in the future, believe me, I'm not gonna be doing none of that.
Right.
I want to be able to executive produce. I want to be able to put this person together, this person together. You guys make a good team. Let me go in the studio and check out the songs. Now we got to tweak this, we got to tweak that. Because that's where I'm kind of gearing towards. I'm going more into the executive mode and stuff.
And speaking about teams, you actually brought up a good point. What is it like putting together a team with your label? Like, you know, like I said, contracts, building trust. Some people might be turned off by that, but what is the importance of having a real solid team for the type of label that you're creating?
Oh, that is very important to me. I look for personality. I look for vibes. I look for I want my label to be represented in a certain way. The content that I'm creating it has to have a certain look, and the quality of the music has to be at a certain level. So it's taking more time. You know, it takes more time, and to pick out those people, it has taken me a while. You know, it's not. It started yesterday. I started the label in 2016, and now is when I'm getting everything really solidified with logistics, with paperwork, with everybody just feeling comfortable and they're signed. You know, everybody. Because everybody mentions contracts, and it's like, oh, you're signing life away. No, my contracts are very standard. This is how I work. We're starting from zero.
And going up,
We got, maybe we won't have no money, but let's put this together and see where it goes, And there's certain amount of time that I put into the music, creating the whole thing, and then it's a lot of time. Engineering, producing, songwriting, co-write. It's a lot of time. So that and then I cover their business side of it. So it's like, what more do you want with me? Sheesh. I'm like a one-man band now, but thank God I'm creating a team of great people that are coming along that I think that are fitting the criteria of my label. So I'm glad, I'm happy where I'm at right now with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, you have this unique sound that stands out from everyone else's sound, and because, like I said, your cultural background. So now, let me just ask you a fun question, right? When you take your music to like DR or something like that, what is the feedback that you would get from like even the culture, your own personal?
No, they'd be like, "Yo, why you're not putting this out?"
Yeah.
That's been the question everywhere. Why have you been releasing content? It's just like like I told you, very mystique. I want everything. It's like timing wise, It's why if it has taken me so long to get to this point now, why am I going to rush the process when I know I have the talent behind me as well that could create what I want? I'm creating. It's basically like you work all these years and people don't see like probably the fruits of your work because they expect you to have a mansion or have a Mercedes Benz, and that's their expectations. But my expectations is like it's going to take me longer because I'm not taking shortcuts. And what I'm building is creating my future retirement.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Take no shortcuts.
Take no shortcuts. I've been, believe me, I don't have to lie. And I don't have to lie. I've been almost in every label. I've been offered publishing deals. I've been offered situations, but I feel like I'm not ready. For the content that I have. I have maybe in the vault more than probably 400 songs that I produced that nobody ever heard with major artists. And I just have that because when I really put it on the table, this is what I'm worth.
And working with those big labels, what is the kind of composure that you find yourself most commonly having to take when it comes to working with either bigger artists or producing with bigger labels? Like what can we tell a lot of these upcoming artists that to prepare for when you get to sit at the table with these type of labels?
You just got to be ready. Don't go within. It's a difference, and I tell this to every artist. There's a difference between the streets and there's a difference between the business. You can't go into a professional setting, bringing that street, they don't want to hear it.
Right.
They want to see the character, yes. They want to see the persona, but in business you got to be very careful, because one wrong thing, that's it. You could be burned, you could be blackballed in this business for any little thing, and it's just you just got to do the things right. Be prepared. Like I said, have your paperwork ready, because once you have that in play, it's like, yo, you're ready. Absolutely. Like you have all right, how many songs you playing? You playing those 5 songs? Okay, you have the split sheets, you have the thing. And if they really like it, you're going into business right there. You know, they're not gonna waste time. They're gonna call the lawyers, you're gonna get the lawyer.
And then that's it.
That's it, then you start working.
You gotta be ready. Mm-hmm. And my last question for you. Now, with obviously in real life going through this pandemic and everything like that, is there anything that you probably have found yourself doing a little bit differently now? Because a lot of people had to sit down and actually focus. It gave them time to focus on their true passions in life. Did anything change from the start of this pandemic to this certain point now that we're actually like together now? We're not really 6 feet apart, but you know, exactly. But we're good. Though. So like, what do you think has been like a takeaway during this entire time for you during this season? Because it's real life. It's really going down, and I feel like people need to be prepared to know if something like this would ever happen again, what to go through, No,
it was tough. It was tough. A couple of my artists were kind of like upset at me because I wasn't releasing no music. I'm not releasing their content, and it was like I know everybody's at home right now. Okay, everybody's at home, but it's not the right time for this kind of music to be out there when we're going through such a
sensitive time.
Yeah, sensitive time. You know, and you know, it was like a lot of like miscommunication. I wasn't answering sometimes because I was so busy. I was like busy on other stuff, getting the content ready, and I learned, man, just be patient, just patience, bro, and I learned how to record videos. I took the time to be like, yo, I read YouTube a lot. I was on YouTube a lot.
So you're doing a lot of research.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest, like, yeah, I have I have a lot of resources, but sometimes the key factor to building a label is, sometimes is money. The funds, and that I've been working hard for that, because I invest everything into music. Everything that I make, I go back in. I'm not afraid because I know it's coming back. But I'm working towards that, and it's looking good, man. And just work hard. I've learned how to be patient. I've learned how to kind of like get along better with people. It's things like this humble you. More through what I've been through and all the traveling that I've done. Life has humbled me.
It sounds like you got like a lot of time management skills under your belt, like for real.
Yeah, and now I'm getting more organized because it's getting crazy. My phone is like everybody wants me around, and it's just like no. Now I'm focused on Sean's project, and it's good, man. I'm happy. I'm in a great place, and it's kind of sometimes you gotta appreciate what happens because you find yourself. Yeah. You find yourself even more. Yeah. So this pandemic was like I found myself even more. I got sharper with the business. I did a lot of researching, learned a lot of stuff, and now I'm anxious to put it into play.
Absolutely. This is an exciting interview, man. Like I said, the Latin Will Music is in the building. This guy, he thought he had an interview like last week. He was like excited to come over.
Yeah, like I was confused when
this guy really thought that his interview was like last week. And then he was like,
when you text me, I didn't really look at the 28th, so I kind of like put it in my calendar. I was like, yo, I can't be late. I even told Sean, I was like, Sean, I can't be late to this interview, man. I like what they're doing. I like what they're doing for the culture from New Jersey. I'm very appreciative. I'm happy that you guys are doing this, man.
Now, like I said, we appreciate Lion Will for coming, being excited to meet us, because we were excited to meet him.
Yeah,
we just wanted to prepare for what he had to say. So we had to give him his own little time slot and everything. But like I said, man, you heard it here first. We are Jersey Magazine. Latin Will, tell me they can book you, follow you, everything.
Follow me on Instagram at Latin Will Music, at Second to None Music, ENT. That's my labels page. Follow Sean at Sean.REXX. I'm sorry if I started a little bit. I speak Spanish and English, so it confuses me. And follow at Majin J, MAJINXJ. Follow at Ace3Belly. I think I got the ball right.
Just go on his Instagram and you'll find everybody's stuff. Yeah, because they got a lot of things on.
I'm building a lot of young talent right now, a lot of up and coming talent. So I want you guys to check them out. I'm ready. We're ready for collaborations. But like I said, be ready. Yes. And we're ready to go to South Jersey. We're ready to go to Central Jersey to collaborate with you guys. just connect with us and we're ready to work. Let's make some hits.
Like I said, we are Jersey Magazine, Line One Music, man. Sign off.
Peace.
Jersey Turned Up Entertainment. Entertainment.